Wonder if we could put everyone in the corner of the entire central and keep killing so the spawns rotate. Um. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am insanely excited to show you what we have found on stream the other day when it comes to farming Deftness 3s and how we have optimized the farming game for the remainder of this game. There are a couple things I need to mention before we get into this video. This is going to require a lot of people, so it isn't necessarily going to be possible for any single person to do. Essentially, what the goal of this type of farm is we are going to the West Retem region and we are going to put players in very specific locations to clear the enemies in that region. And what is going to happen is those monsters are essentially going to be instantly cleared by that player, and then more monsters will be populated somewhere else on the map, and we will have somebody placed there to clear those monsters. So the goal of this type of farm is to be instantly clearing monsters as they spawn, which is going to force this region to go into overdrive mode with respawns and the amount of monsters that every single player is going to clear, and henceforth the drops that everybody's going to see is astronomical. Those photos that you just saw with those deftness capsules, those were in a 2-hour example in this region, and we were learning this process while doing it. So just imagine how many you can farm if you were in the room as well. As with most farming systems, there are 2 optimal skills to use with this strategy, and that is going to be homing darts, which you can use as a ranger or gunner using the rifle weapon, or using Zond, which you can use as any tech-based class, that being Techer, Force, or Bouncer. These are your go-tos since you can attack a lot of monsters from range as well as mob very easy, so you're clearing these monsters as soon as possible and then moving to the next mob that just spawned. Now, for this farming system to work, there are 12 very specific spots that you want to have players set up around the perimeter of the West Retem region. Everybody else that you have is going to be staying in the center area, which I like to call the pit, and I'm going to go over everybody's area that they need to cover in this video. So if you want to do this farming style, you can send this video to players so they know exactly what they are going to do and where they're going to farm to make it easier for everybody to get the most out of this farming style. This first location is going to be a large circle right nearby the Ryuker, and all you're doing is you're farming this little path behind the main path of the Sagan Mountain Road, and then you're just clearing the little bit of that Sagan Mountain Road in front, and you're just going to loop this over and over and over as monsters spawn. The second location for a player is going to be on the path of the Sagan Mountain Road in between the first and third locations. All you're doing is running back and forth and clearing as you see monsters. You can help out in either of the regions if there is no spawn in your location, but you're pretty much just going back and forth in that area. The third location is going to be in this big pooled area. There will be a lot of monsters spawning here, so you pretty much can just stay here and farm as they spawn. Like I said, the player in the second location can come over and help when possible, but you need to remember that there are going to be monsters spawning in your location, so you don't want to get off track that much because there will be monsters waiting for you in your location. Location number 4 is actually up this flotation device, and it's on this pathway to the mag device. There's only 2 groups that can spawn up here, so sometimes spawn can be a little bit slow in this area, so I typically will jump back down to location 3's pool and kill some monsters and take the flotation device back up. This is also a really good place to put somebody that is a little bit weaker, or if somebody doesn't have the ability to use a ranged or tech build, you could put somebody melee up here since this is a very small pathway and there's a little bit less mob density, and you can have them clear this with success. Location number 5 is in its own little area over here. There's a little pool of monsters that will spawn. You can just have one person farming in this area. It's just this little pool. Location number 6, it requires a little bit of jumping. You're going to be clearing 3 platforms that are stacked upon on top of each other. So you have this top platform, and then you can drop down right below you, clear all of the mobs down below you, and then to your left there is a middle platform that you can clear, and then you're just jumping in between these platforms and clearing as you go. Once again, if there isn't any mobs spawned right away, you can extend out a little bit, but keep an eye on those platforms that you are in charge of, and if there is any spawn, you need to go back and clear those ASAP to keep this spawn rolling across all locations. Zone number 7 is on this small platform, and all you're doing is clearing the small platform, and then you are just going to clear the pathway into location 6. So you're going to help that person in location 6 keep that pathway clean, as well as just to the left of you, you have a small platform there that you're also going to clear. Location number 8 is another big pool area where a lot of monsters will spawn. So pretty much all you're doing here is clearing that big pool, and then you are also clearing that middle platform in between you and location 7, just keeping that clean with that player. Location number 9 is another hallway path, just like location 2. You're just going to be going back and forth in between location 8 and 10 and just clearing all the monsters there. If you're finding that you don't have a lot of mobs, you can go and help location 8 if there is a lot of density, but make sure you get back on the pathway because monsters will be spawning along this route. Location 10 is in charge of clearing these couple groups that will spawn on the top of this little mountainside, and then you're going to just jump down into the pit and clear some monsters down here, and just keep an eye on that mountaintop if there's any monsters that spawn up there. There is a flotation device right behind you. You can instantly float back up, keep clearing those, and jump back into the pit and keep clearing monsters down there. Location 11 is on the other side of the pit across from location 10, and you kind of have the same exact goal. You have this small pathway that can spawn about 2 or 3 groups at a time, and when you've cleared those groups, you're just going to jump into the pit. You're going to clear some monsters there, and you have a float device to get right back up to your platform. Furthermore, while you're clearing these platforms, you on your minimap can see that beside the Ryuker, there are some monsters that will spawn there. So if you ever see a lot of monsters in that Ryuker device, open up your world map, teleport to that Ryuker, clear those monsters, and then you can just simply jump and float right back down to your platform, and you waste no time clearing that spot and only needing one person for this whole region. And the 12th and final location that is very important is this pathway up to the cocoon. So this player can clear all the way up to the cocoon, and when there isn't any monsters spawning on that pathway, you can jump right into the pit and you can help clean out there. And once you notice monsters back up on that cocoon pathway, you can jump right back up there and clean those out. The reason why this farm works so well is because of these 12 players on the outskirts. Whenever there are monsters that are cleared from these regions, they are bouncing to any of the other 12 regions, or they're going into what I like to call the pit. And this is where you're going to put literally everybody else that joins this farm. This is why you need about 17 people to accomplish this goal, because you want people in the pit clearing literally everything that spawns. This is by far where the most monsters spawn, so you want to have the most people here to instantly clear out anything that spawns here, and therefore repopulating all of the other 12 locations, so those players are also getting really good farm as well. If you do not have anybody in the pit, or if you only have a couple people, this farm is not going to work because there's going to be too many monsters in the pit that are not getting cleared. This is exactly why 32 of 32 rooms become a crazy farming train. This is how we are getting 20 plus Deftness 3 per hour, is because we have so many people in the pit farming and clearing monsters left and right, and then that's helping everybody else on the other regions farm extremely well in their own little sections. The other bonus to this type of farm is that there is a veteran that spawns in the pit, that is veteran Fortos Laser. So whenever he shows up about every 10 or 15 minutes, anybody in the pit can go and help clear that really quickly, and those players in the pit also have a chance to drop some Dread Keepers, relics, and whatnot. Secondly, you are in a very high populated room, so when the storm happens, you can all stop farming and go right to the Giga. You have some chance at good capsules. This is a Dustle, so you have Dust Soul 3s that you can drop as well, which are very valuable and help with how much money you can make on an hourly basis. And here's just an example I'm showing you in the upper right hand corner of all of these 12 locations working in harmony around the outskirts, and you can see them juggling around their little areas, and they make this whole system work alongside everybody else in the pit. And once again, when everybody is working together in this type of farm, you are going to make incredible money and you're going to be able to farm your Deftness 3s rather than buying them. So if you like this farm and you want to be a part of this type of farm, come join me on my Twitch when I'm live, 9 a.m. PST. I will be hosting rooms like this all day. I personally need to get my deft mites for my build. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next week or so. This farm is incredible. I am so excited to share it with you all. I hope this helps. Please send the video around if you are trying to host your own farms. I'm going to have timestamps to every single location, so if you are trying to put someone in a location, you can send them this video, timestamp it exactly to that, and they'll know exactly what they're doing, so everybody can profit from this and everybody can get these extremely valuable Deftness 3s to make their endgame gear. This was actually a thought from our community member, Noise9. He simply just thought about it and we got our brains brewing and we started practicing it. And look, we created a whole new farming system. So I just want to say thank you so much to the community. If you want to join our community, Discord link is down below. You can pop in there. So yeah, guys, that's it. Get out there, go farm West Retem, get some friends and alliance mates together, give this farm a try. It is unreal how much money you can make when you work side by side with others in unison and harmony. And I promise you, this is the best way to farm Deftness capsules. It's never going to get better than this. So take advantage of it right now, whether it's to make money or to make your gear. As always, guys, I appreciate you so much for supporting me and the channel. I'm so glad to be able to provide content like this for you all so we can all make our money for fashion and for our gear. And let's keep it moving forward. I'll see you all in the next video real soon.